Today in this video, we're gonna go over some exercises as well as some stretches to hopefully improve your strength and mobility in your shoulders. So hopefully this will prevent you or alleviate you from your shoulder pain. First exercise we're gonna do today is called the Arnold Press. With the Arnold Press, you're gonna need a pair of dumbbells. Now, if you don't have a pair of dumbbells, you can use some grocery bags. You can get creative in terms of using some sort of household item to do this exercise. With your dumbbells, you're gonna have that directly right in front of you. Make sure that your palms are facing towards you. From here, we're gonna slightly rotate, and then as we press, and then slowly back down. Twist and press, right? This exercise is engaging the anterior, medial, and posterior deltoid all in one exercise. Notice that as you press the dumbbells up above your head, you want to try to get your arms either right next to your ears or slightly right behind your ears. So this way the dumbbell is in line with your body. I want you to do 4 sets of 10, and you can give yourself about 30 seconds to a minute break in between each set. I also want to make sure that you go nice and slow so you can really focus on using your shoulders and engaging the muscles in your shoulders. Of course, as you're pressing up, you also want to make sure that you're engaging your core. You want to keep your stomach nice and tight. The next exercise we're going to do are going to be some single arm lateral raises. Now with this exercise, you could use some resistance bands or a dumbbell. And of course, if you don't have either equipment, that is not a problem. You can probably get creative. Use some household items like a grocery bag. Now with this exercise, we're focusing on the medial deltoid. Now as we raise the dumbbell up from our side to roughly about shoulder height, we're gonna focus on bending our elbow. As we raise the dumbbell from the side of our body up to about shoulder height, we wanna focus on actually bringing up our elbow instead of bringing up the weight. If we only focus on bringing up the weight, we all have a tendency of just twisting or turning our wrist upward. Notice that in this case, the elbow is actually slightly higher than my hand. So this way it's really gonna target right here in the medial deltoid. Whenever you bring the dumbbells up, you're not actually gonna bring the dumbbell where it's completely in line with your body. The dumbbell is actually going to be slightly in front of you. Now, anytime we raise something laterally, we all have a tendency of locking our elbows. With this exercise, you want to focus on engaging the biceps and triceps. Keep your elbows soft as you bring the dumbbell up laterally. For the single arm lateral raises, I want you to do 4 sets of 10 on each arm, and give yourself, like I said earlier, 30 seconds to about a minute break in between each set. I'm gonna demonstrate the same exercise with some resistance bands. Now I really like these bands. These are pull-up bands. They are really useful for a wide variety of exercises. So if you're interested in getting a set, I'm gonna put the link in the description box below. Just like with the dumbbell, you're just gonna focus on bringing up the elbow, right? Bring the hand up roughly just about shoulder height. Like I said, focus on engaging the shoulders as you are bringing your elbows upward. Right? Whenever we do any kind of exercise, it's really important to focus on the muscle group we're trying to engage. With the front raises, the same principles apply as you did with the lateral raises. Just like with the lateral raises, you want to focus on bringing up the elbow, not so much the weight itself. The main reason you should do these last 2 exercises one arm at a time, so you can really focus on the muscle group that you're trying to work on. So this way it clears you of distractions so you can put your mind to the work that you're trying to do. For the front raises, I also want you to do 4 sets of 10 and give yourself about 30 seconds to a minute break in between each set. The last exercise we're gonna do are gonna be some external rotations. And with this exercise, you could use, of course, a dumbbell, as well as some booty bands. For the external rotation, we're focusing on the posterior part of your deltoid. With this exercise, we're gonna bring our dumbbells upward. So form a 90-degree angle with your arm, engage those biceps. From here, we're just gonna rotate outward. So the only thing that's really moving is your forearms from inside to out. Your elbow stays in place. Now, how far you rotate outward, that's up to you, right? That depends on your mobility. But the main part about this is focus on engaging the posterior deltoid as you rotate the dumbbell outward. And if you're using a booty band, this is how you're gonna do the exact same exercise. You're gonna put the band right around your wrist, right? Palms facing each other, elbows by your side, but not pinned into your torso. Make sure that your elbow is kind of just resting naturally right next to you. From here, just like you would with the dumbbells, you're gonna slowly rotate externally and then back. You wanna focus on controlling your movement, right? Go nice and slow so you can really focus on engaging that posterior deltoid. With the external rotations, I also want you to do 4 sets of 10 on each side. Just like before, give yourself 30 seconds to a minute rest in between each set. Next, let's go through some stretches to increase the mobility of your shoulder. For the first thing we're gonna do, you're gonna need a foam roller. With your foam roller, we're gonna put that in your thoracic area of your spine. So it's gonna be roughly placed about mid-back, and we're gonna roll that upward towards your shoulder. And you may ask, why are we rolling out our back when we focus on shoulder mobility? Well, a lot of the muscles here in this area, especially behind us in our deltoid as well as our upper back, they're all interconnected. So it's really important to loosen that up to kind of give us some mobility in our shoulder, especially the posterior part of our shoulder. So to do the thoracic roll, you're just gonna come on up, kind of bring your hips up a little bit. I always like to kind of use my hands to kind of support my head. Then you're gonna use your feet to kind of gently go downward and then upward. So use your feet to kind of push you and guide your body as you roll up and down on your foam roller. Right? Try not to go too fast. Right? Take your time with these rolls. I also like to kind of bring my elbows towards each other. That kind of opens up my back a little bit and really kind of digs into my muscles to loosen them up. All right, the next movement we're gonna do to increase the mobility in your shoulder are some cat-cows. Many of you may already be familiar with this exercise, but we're gonna be coming on all fours, on your hands, on your knees. You're gonna drop your torso, arch your back downward, and protrude out your scapula and look forward a little bit. Pause. And then we're gonna rotate. We're gonna then bring our back up, rotate it outward, and then extend it up towards the ceiling. And then back down. The thoracic roll, the cat-cow, works similarly in terms of loosening up your upper back to give you a little bit more mobility in your shoulders, especially as you're moving your arm backwards. The next movement we're gonna do is gonna be a dead hang pendulum. With that, you're gonna need a bench. You can also use a chair, you can also use a table. What you wanna be able to do is allow your arm to freely hang. And then from there, you're just gonna gently swing it back and forth. Now, if you want a deeper stretch, then you can also use a dumbbell. Now with your dumbbells, I highly recommend you just grabbing the weight with your 4 fingers and do not use your thumb. And same here, just try to loosen up your shoulders and kind of just let your arms rock back and forth. I would recommend you rocking your arms back and forth at least 10 times. So 1 forward swing to 1 back swing counts as 1. And then do the same on the other side. The next mobility movement we're gonna do are gonna be some cross-body swings. We're gonna take our arm, we're gonna keep our arm nice and loose, right? Try not to stiffen your muscles, and we're gonna swing them across our body. Now what we wanna do is we're gonna alternate our arms around. So have your arm go under and over. So in this case, my right arm's gonna go over my left and then under my left. I recommend you doing 20 of these crossbody swings. The very last mobility movement we're gonna do today are gonna be some neck tilts. All right, so with the neck tilts, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one hand, we're gonna place it on the opposite side of our head, and we're gonna gently pull. And you should feel a stretch right here in this region. Pause there for about 5 seconds, and then you're gonna do the same on the other side. With this movement, I want you to do this 3 times on each side with about a 5-second pause with each hold. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you are experiencing any kind of shoulder pain. Now, if you have any comments, feedback, and so forth, please leave that in the comment box below, and we'll see you next time.